My name is Philip Burnet. I'm a neuroscientist in the Department of Psychiatry, University of Oxford, and my research focuses on how gut bacteria affects brain function. I wanted to get involved with this Burton exhibition because Burton does talk about how food affects mood. He lists certain foods that could lead to melancholia or depression, and even, but very rarely, an item of food that might be good for depression. So I wanted to try and show what contemporary research makes of this. And of course, food is the main thing that changes our gut bacteria. Burton didn't really give an extensive list of foods that were good for depression or melancholy. He mainly listed those that were bad. However, he did recommend that apples were good when you have depression. As far as what is bad for you that could lead to depression, he particularly focused on meat, which is quite interesting because we know that red meat does contain a lot of fat, and this increases the amount of so-called bad bacteria in our gut and reduces the number of good bacteria in our gut. Certain foods or diets that influence our mood usually change the chemicals in our brain or the neurotransmitters. And what we found is that when we nurture or encourage the growth of good bacteria in our gut, these chemicals in the brain tend to increase or decrease depending on the effect the gut bacteria has. And it's these changes in chemicals that change also our thought processes, how we view the world, and therefore ultimately our mood. Recent research has shown that a so-called Mediterranean diet, which is low in red meat content, and high in more natural oils and fish, are good for you, are good for mental health. And these also encourage the growth of good bacteria. On the other hand, Western diet, which is rich in processed foods and red meat, which he highlighted was bad, tends to increase the undesirable bacteria and reduce the good bacteria. So I think today's research almost mirrors what he was saying, except what we now have is a sort of mediator, something that goes between the food and the brain, and that's the bacteria influencing our body and our brain. This makes the treatment of mental illness, such as depression and schizophrenia, more achievable because we have a simple way where we can help people get better. Now, I'm not saying that this will replace drugs, but certainly they can help drugs or be an alternative for people who don't react well to drugs. This is a very exciting area of neuroscience research, and more evidence is showing that growing good bacteria in our gut is improving our brain function. So I think, in many respects, as Burton suggested 400 years ago, we are what we eat.